Good morning. Good Saturday morning. Glad to have you with us. David Keever, Mike Powell, Brett Keever for the next couple of hours. Beautiful morning outside. I'm ready for the cooling trend. We got a little bit of it this morning.
Yep. Low 50s.
Well, we should do a poll, and we can start this next week. What will the high be on Christmas Day? 75?
I'm going to say 64.
64.
Yeah, a balmy 64.
Yeah.
31.
Hey, I'll take that.
Hey.
I'll take that. It's just been typical for our area. It seems like the trend each year, it's just warmer and warmer this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
But this morning, you walk outside and there is a little
snap.
Yep, little chill in the air. 52 degrees, sunny. High 67 today, which yesterday I think was around 77.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm just looking at the next. Monday's going to be 75 again. We're going to go to high of 60 tomorrow, and then it's going to jump 15 degrees on Monday before dropping 58, 67, 58. 59, 63, 65, 66.
Friday night looks pretty cool.
I was going to say.
I just hope it's cool and clear.
42 on Friday night. Now, we won't see it get that low because that'll be like in the morning or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be kind of chilly down on the creek at Lincoln.
Some of the high school football games, well, we don't even know yet, Mike, if they'll be playing at home.
We don't.
If Lincoln will be at home, if West Lincoln will be at home, if Maiden will be at home. It's a little bit in the dark right now. A little bit in the dark.
And having to wait a week, when normally would have been last week, is added to the anticipation.
The first text I get this morning comes from Scott Cloninger, and he just reiterates what Brett had already told us this morning.
Mm-hmm.
First round looks like Maiden at Lincoln, West Lincoln at Bunker Hill. So it's just a conference season all over again. I got to love the way the playoffs work. That they
revisited.
And you know why it's like that? It's because how many conferences are there, Brett, that are in 2A West? Or 3A West. 2A especially, it seems like that they all play each other.
Not that many.
It can't be.
No.
It can't be. How many conferences are represented?
Well, there's 10. There's going to be 10 conference champions.
Yeah.
So
in the West. 10
I guess there's 10 conferences.
But some of them's got to be split. Right?
Well, yeah, some of them are split.
Yep.
Yep, there are some splits.
Like Shelby. Shelby's a conference champion in the West. They play in a split conference.
All right.
Yeah. How many?
But I guess not many have 5 teams. So that makes you more likely to play each other when you got 5 teams making the playoffs.
Right? 64.
Yeah.
Yep.
32 on each side.
On each side.
Yeah. So if you, like you said, Brett, if you got 5 of 32, it's still kind of weird if it's 5 of 32 that you have 2 matchups.
Yeah, you wouldn't think you would have 2.
Yeah.
At least, not 2.
And I wonder.
Well, things can change.
They can.
There's still a conference game today, so
there is.
That affects everybody's RPI.
Let's go ahead and throw that out there. Bandy's taking on East Burke at East Burke today. 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock start. I do like the 2 o'clock start. Helps a person like me that's got to have that seating put in today. Today. And the seating will take place. I need to look again just to make sure. I think it takes place on Sunday. Am I right about that, Brett?
The brackets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Teams will know by the end
of come out
end of day on Sunday who they will face. That way they can start preparing on Monday.
Any other Saturday games that would affect RPIs?
Yeah. Well, they all affect RPIs, don't they? But, there's only 2 games today. Which I was a little surprised that some of those teams waited to play there.
I know.
Yeah, Owen and Madison, the other one.
Well, and what happened was East Burke played earlier this week.
That's right.
On Tuesday against Newton Conover, so to wait the 3-day, the 72 hours, they had to play on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other one, Brett?
Owen and Madison.
Okay.
Yep.
Owen and Madison. Coach Cloninger went last night. He said he went to see Mountain Heritage at Drone last night. His buddy Joey Robinson there and coaching the team. And
Joey.
And he said Mountain Heritage still not in school.
Wow.
Still not able to go back to school yet at this point.
So it's been, 5 weeks now, right? More.
Oh, more.
Yeah, I'd say
6 or 7.
And then do we know if Owen, Black Mountain was one of the heaviest hit.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if Owen is back in school or not. Scott also says Newton may get in. Owen or Madison may opt out.
Yeah, there could be teams
opt
out of the playoffs. Madison, I think, is projected as the 32 seed right now.
And that would mean that maybe Owen would get that next.
I think it might be whoever wins that game today is in the playoffs as an automatic.
Owen and
Madison
to play
qualify.
Each other. Yeah, and the other would just be out.
Yeah,
but then one opt out of the playoffs.
Why would they opt out? Just duress, just everything that's happened.
There's many different reasons. But,
yeah. Whoever wins that game today is only going to be their second win.
I'm not going to say this is why these two teams would opt out, because it might be a different reason. But sometimes I think there might be opting out because you're a 32 playing a 1, and it's a long way to go. Yeah. But you don't know that.
And
you have to opt out ahead of time, so you don't know who you're playing.
I don't know that my Ironmen have ever opted out, even though they faced
some
really, really tough matchups.
Was it just a couple years ago one of our local teams opted out?
That's right.
And it kind of stirred the pot a little bit. There was a little controversy going on there for a little while about the
that conference only has two 2A teams.
Yeah.
And they're Madison and Owen.
Okay.
So one of them, whoever finishes higher, qualifies for the playoffs automatically. Right. Now, they don't go in as a 1 seed, but they qualify.
And there's with those teams being where they are located and everything, I could see them,
I could too.
But then again, maybe it would bring.
And that's actually a pretty good conference. They're just the worst two teams in it. Mountain Heritage, Mitchell, Drone, Avery County, and Rosman are the other teams.
The biggest part of me about opting out is seniors.
Yeah, that's right.
They get a chance.
They want to play another game for the playoffs.
The playoff, experience it, take off on the road.
Right.
Nobody looks at that score down the road. They're going to remember you were in the playoffs. If you lose 70-0, it's just a thing, Yeah,
you had another road trip together. You eat out somewhere. You go somewhere you haven't been. I get it. Yeah, seniors.
Let's see if Brett knows the answer to this. Ronnie Carpenter says 11 conferences, but 1 will not have a number 1 seed. Why is that?
I guess that's this one, Owen and Madison.
Yeah. Okay, they don't get a 1 because they didn't win enough games.
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't win enough games to be a 1.
We have to finish in the top, 3 of the conference to get a 1 seed?
The South Caldwell rule.
And whoever wins this one is going to finish in 5th.
Yep.
Monty Moss-Teller, good morning. He says, good morning, STG, listening in while traveling back from Oak Island. Saw some of those fish.
He was at Oak Island last Saturday, though.
Yep, Saturday. He said here for the whole week.
Saturday.
Yep. I saw some of the fish that he had caught down there.
Nice.
Having a good time. It looked like, for sure. Yes, those 2 games. Let's see. 2 games today involve 2 CVAC teams. Bandy 6-3 at East Burke, 2-7. How could this affect Bandy's, Brett? Have you checked into that at all to see if they lose, they'd be going somewhere? If they win, they'd be going somewhere?
It's impossible to tell.
Impossible at this point? Yeah. That's why I don't get into it. And Owen and Madison, winner there, will get the playoff berth if they elect to play. While we're on here, let's just go ahead and go through last night's high school football scores. You guys can tell me. Stop me at any time and tell me if there's anything that surprises you. Here's one thing we mention AC Reynolds a lot and how good they are, and they really are. We mention TC Roberson, Asheville High, but we hardly ever mention Irwin. And last night, Irwin defeated AC Reynolds 28-21. Brett tells me that they look to be the number 1 overall in the West. Irwin I have been to Irwin to a game before, believe it or not. Long time ago, I've been to Asheville, Irwin to a game.
That's one I haven't been to.
A playoff game, and it snowed the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never see that again in high school football, will we?
Who were
Statesville.
Statesville.
Mm-hmm. Playoff game. Saw them playing Statesville in the snow one year. Scott says the last time Irwin won a conference championship, these players had not been born.
Oh,
wow.
Over 18, 20 years ago. Right?
Yeah, and I know where Asheville High is. I've been to a game there. I know where AC Reynolds is. I've been to games there.
Been to a game there.
But where is Irwin located? As far I've been, but I don't remember now.
I think it's so a little west of Asheville. I think so.
And what is their nickname? Because their logo looks like the state of North Carolina.
Warriors.
Is it?
Yeah.
The Warriors. Yeah, Asheville. I'm going to tell you something, too. There's another school on here I looked at a little earlier. I checked the scores this morning right when I got up because I'd fell asleep last night. But there is a private school on here in Asheville, too, that must be pretty good. There must be a lot of talent now in the Asheville area. That's what I was going to say. I mean, it is a good-sized town, obviously. But it seems like there's a lot of talent, and it's spread around pretty evenly, you know. Quite a few teams in there. Why can't I find that right now? The Asheville team that played last night. Well, there says Asheville School Independent, but it says missing. Here it is. Asheville School and Hickory Grove Christian. Asheville School will win 51-9. Now, we don't really know the level of competition there, but I'm going to guess. What's the basketball school over there that in that area that the Plumleys went to? And you guys remember that? Christ School. It was in Asheville as well, right?
Near Asheville.
Yeah. I just think there's a lot of talent in the Asheville area that probably don't get talked about a whole lot. Of course, you're going to have to make a run and go deep into playoffs.
Yeah, you're going to have to go 3 or 4 deep.
Yeah. And that's hard to do in some of the classifications that they may be in. I'm going to run through a few of these scores, but I got messages rolling in. Hook says, good morning, guys. Ned Yates says, morning. We'll listen to second hour, putting up flags for veterans on veterans' graves. Doing a good thing there, Ned.
Absolutely.
At the Cherryville Cemetery. Monday is Veterans Day, so have a great Veterans Day weekend. Let's
also officially congratulate Ned Yates on being named Commissioner of Area 4 in American Legion Baseball.
How about that? He'll do a fine job.
Yes, he will.
I do believe. And this we're going to bring this up in a minute, Mike. Painter, I'm saving this one, okay? I've already read it this morning, so we are saving it. Monumental win last night. Scott says Irwin is northwest of Asheville. So wouldn't North Buncombe be out that way too?
Yeah, I think you would think so.
They probably, I have been to North Buncombe to a game too.
Yeah, I was at that.
The night the lights went out in
Buncombe. Asheville. And they did not hang an innocent man.
I hope not. AC Reynolds falls to Irwin last night, 28-21 in that matchup. Asheville all over TC Roberson last night, 45-15. I thought Asheville would win that game last night against TC Roberson. I did not think it would be by that margin, a 30-point margin in favor of Asheville. Go ahead and give them all to you. Aidan Grifton played Pamlico County, 47-14. I don't know the situation. I don't know why they had a makeup game.
Yeah, way out there
down east. It's just I don't know. Whatever reason, maybe they just saved one of their games for that late. Maybe they wanted to move it. I do not know. Rayburn Gap. This is the team that's from Georgia that's ranked number 1 in North Carolina privates, right?
Yeah.
Rayburn Gap beats Christ School 42-7. I think if I was these North Carolina private schools, I would opt them out.
Yeah.
Cary and Wayne Christian. Cary Christian wins 20-19. Charlotte Christian Providence Day. It's Providence Day a winner, 28-20.
Now that's in the semifinals of.
Yeah, they get done early.
Yeah.
So next week, Providence Day plays for the title, and I'm guessing they'll play a team.
Raven Gap.
Is that right?
I would guess.
Is that right?
Well, they're in the same class. Yeah. So if it's down to the championship, that's
wonder where that game would be.
I don't know.
Hopefully they play it in North Carolina.
Florida. Yeah.
A bowl game. East Surrey, all over West Wilkes, 49-0. Southern Lee, 35-15 over Seaforth. North Buncombe loses to Inca 14-7. I have not been to a game at Inca, that I recall, but I have seen Inca play. Inca had a really good quarterback one year. I saw him playing Shelby in the playoffs. Okay. That quarterback, Gardner Webb. Maybe somebody can help me there. I'm not going to tell you the year, but it's been a while because I don't know the year. But it's been a while. Brett, I don't even think you attended that game.
No, I've seen Inca play basketball and girls basketball, but not.
I've seen them play softball,
not football.
Have seen them play softball. They actually have a really good softball program, or they did at one time.
Yeah, they Gaston College signed one of the girls, one of their pitchers.
Sugar Jet.
Yep.
Coach Cloninger attended this one last night. Mountain Heritage 49, Drone 6. Providence and South Meck. Providence wins 21-0. East Rutherford rolls over Chase. This is a team with a heck of an offense right here. East Rutherford 54-0 last night over Chase. Robbinsville shuts out Swain County 17-0. I saw two reports of this. Did Kings Mountain North Gaston play last night, or did they play Thursday night? It's listed here on Friday, but I swear the score was up very early.
Yeah.
54-6, Kings Mountain over North Gaston. West Henderson over East Henderson 56-0. Polk County falls to Hendersonville. Hendersonville 69-0. Did Polk have a bad year?
Yeah.
Brett, because Hendersonville's not as good
Polk,
as they normally
Polk
are.
only won one game.
They turned them into Polk salad. Annie.
They did. Alexander Central over Ashe County. I want to congratulate myself. I got an Alexander Central pick right. I think I might have been 0-10 or so on Alexander Central picks this year. Got them right.
Yeah,
last
I think
night.
I picked Alexander too.
Yeah, most of our picks this week were the same. I mean, there's very little.
But one of them probably was on the wrong side. I'm looking.
Yeah, one of them is on the wrong side, but that happens.
Yeah.
RS Central falls to Brevard 48-13. The big battle last night, the money games, what I like to call it, the one with the big pot of half and half. Pisgah beats Tuscola 10-7. I don't think anybody saw the 10-7 coming.
Whoa.
I think we all picked Pisgah, maybe. But
yeah, those games are always low scoring.
Are they?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me that before?
Yeah.
Well, I picked it pretty low, but not that low.
Yeah. That was our closest score
Hopefully
game,
mine
too.
was the lowest.
It might be. Avery County over Mitchell, which tells me Mitchell didn't have as good a season as we're used to them seeing either. Because Avery's not a great team.
Cherville beat Avery
25-21. Avery, a winner last night at home against Mitchell. Freedom over High Brighton 26-21. I've missed Freedom a lot this year too. Yeah. I think I got that one right. I think I picked Freedom.
How would you rate their program with the new coach? It looks like they're on
their way up.
On the way up.
Yep, on their way up. I would give it a thumbs up. Hunter Huss and South Point. Believe it or not, this game was back and forth for a long time.
Yeah.
But South Point pulls away late. They claimed the conference championship because they owned the tiebreaker with Kings Mountain, right, Brett? Is that who they tied?
Right.
Thank you, Mike. 36-22 last night. South Point a winner. Let's see. West Columbus. We've been to a game there. No, not South Columbus is where we've been to a game. South Columbus. West Columbus won 30-8 over Union. Watauga, this one was close early. I mean, when I say close, it might have been like 20-something to 19 or something. It's pretty close for a while. But Watauga just too much for South Caldwell. 63-19. They win that one. You're never going to believe this one if you didn't keep up with it. Bunker Hill and West Caldwell were tied at 16. Bunker Hill wins 51-16. Last night to claim the number 1 seed out of the CBAC.
Didn't West Caldwell give West Lincoln a little bit of trouble when they played them?
Mm-hmm. It stayed close all night. Yeah. I think it was a 7-point game, right, Brett?
I know.
It seemed like it was just like 13-6.
Yeah, I know West Lincoln scored 50 ultimately, but
Yeah, that final was 50-27.
Okay, I'm
West
thinking about the
Lincoln.
East Burke game.
Yeah.
13.
That was West Lincoln beat East Burke.
13-6.
Real low scoring.
13-7.
13-7, 6. Lucky 13 sometimes. And the final one on here, and I'm going to get to Phil Ayers' message in just a minute. Smoky Mountain 35-14 last night over Franklin in that game. I'm going to read the messages in order real quick. Lenny says Christ School is in Arden, which is a suburb of Asheville. Morning, guys, is what Lenny finishes with. Phil Ayers says north of Asheville off of I-26, and North Buncombe's in Weaverville. Yep, I've been to Weaverville, and I've even been to Weaverville for other reasons than football. Nice, neat little town.
Yeah.
And
most of them are up there.
North of Asheville off I-26. Roberson south of Asheville on I-26, right, Phil? Ned Yates says, remembering there was a coastal storm that stalled prior to Hurricane Helene, maybe huge rains caused the reschedule. And Ned's talking about those Eastern games that got played last night. Yeah. Hook says Freedom started a freshman quarterback last night.
Oh.
Now, is that due to injury?
Could be.
Tough time to get an injury, but I do not know. And then this one.
All right.
Just a couple nights ago in this one, Fred T. Ford ended the streak.
They did.
Of 42. Let's see, did he put that in here?
Well, it wasn't a couple nights ago.
Was it last night?
Yeah, it was last night.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Did I read that one?
No.
I don't remember it being on the scoreboard.
You
Did I
didn't
just
say
skip it?
You didn't read
Or
it?
I saved it. That's what I'm going to say. I saved it. But Fred T. Ford ends their losing streak, and they beat West Iredale. And what a game.
Oh, yeah.
It was 50-something, 50-something. Y'all got it?
53-52.
In double overtime.
Was it?
Double overtime.
No, I think it was just one overtime.
Okay.
And I think Ford scored.
Yeah, I'm reading the two at the wrong place.
Ford
You're
scored
right.
and kicked
They
an extra point.
Went for
And
two.
then West Iredale scored, and I don't know if they went for two or if they missed an extra point.
I don't know.
But
They went for two, according to Mike Painter. They went for two, and Ford stopped them.
Wow.
So,
What a game.
yep. And you know what? I mean, we don't like to bring a lot of attention to those losing streaks, but I am glad for them to see it win. And it's nothing against West Iredale, obviously. They just happened to be the team they were playing in my eyes, you know. But I never want to see a team have to. And you know what? Those guys will. Those seniors especially.
They'll love it.
Yep,
Yeah.
have something to talk about the rest of their lives. That's right.
Final game, they win one and break it.
Yep.
Good for them.
Yep. A lot of these teams that win their final game are state champs, you know, because
only one team comes away happy
from each class. That's right.
right.
But Ford can say they were. You know, these guys can say they were on the team, on the team
that'll be a big
ended the streak.
To bring back the future class reunions or whatever when some of them get together.
Yep. I want to ask Phil. Oh, good. He already told me. He already answered me. Phil says that Smoky Mountain 7-3 under first-year coach J.T. Postel, and I knew that name. And he gave me the question I was going to ask. Where did he coach before? And Mike, you should know one of his stops.
Okay.
Yes. You should know one of his stops.
J.T. Postel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Not posthumous, but Postel.
Postel.
He sends me the box score here from last night, and Smoky Mountain up 28-7 at half, cruising to that 35-14 win. You can't remember, Mike, where he was? Is in your county. One of his stops was in your county.
As a head coach or assistant?
I'm guessing as a head coach, but I don't know. I don't know that for sure.
Boy.
Hook says that game last night, Ford won 53-52 was the exact numbers. One overtime, they went for two, and Ford stopped them. I watched it on the NFHS, and the entire crowd for Ford stormed the field to celebrate. Was it at home?
I think it was at West Iredale.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It doesn't matter either way, but I would love for it to have been a home game for them. But like I said, that's neither here nor there to me. I mean, they broke the streak, and that's already a positive to me for going into next year. You know, I mean, that's just something.
Wherever they end up.
Exactly. He was the head coach according to Phil.
Yeah, I knew where it was now.
You look it up.
I found it.
Did you?
East Gaston.
Yes. And then went to a mountain school, Tuscola, and now is the head coach.
No, I think East Gaston was last.
Oh, was it?
I
Okay.
think so.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's true. I just read them in the.
Yeah, and they were good. They had a good year.
They did
last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or the year before last.
I think it was last year.
One year they played Shelby in the third round. They got to the
maybe
third
that was
round
2 years
Shelby.
ago. That might have been 2 years ago.
I noticed you said they played Shelby.
Yeah, they didn't beat them.
They didn't beat them. No.
That's the first thing that stood out to me. JT Lenny, your spell check put JT Powell. He's no kin to mine.
Oh.
But
my cousin.
And guess what? He sent me the correction, and guess how it came out? Powell again.
My cousin, JT.
Postel turns to Powell if you don't stop that spell check.
Yeah.
That's funny. Mike's cousin, he says. Surprises last night other than Ford. I think Ford they own it. They get the even though it wasn't that big of an upset, West Iredale has struggled this year as well. But anytime you have a streak like that, that's the game. That's the highlight of the night.
Oh yeah,
for that particular team. So JT was at East Gaston last year, says Phil. Then he was Tuscola. Wonder how many years at Tuscola before going to East Gaston and then Smoky Mountain.
I don't think it could have been too many.
I'd love to know the reasons behind the move from Smoky Mountain to East Gaston. It may be something with personal that they needed to live in Gaston County. Anything, a job.
Maybe Jackson County, great place to live. That's where Western is, of course.
I think Phil would agree with you.
I know he would.
Yeah, East Gaston went 8-3 last year.
8-3 last year.
Lost to Maiden in the playoffs.
Has it got the score?
31-21.
Okay. Yep.
Well, maybe, yeah.
All right, all you folks that read up on this all-time series between Maiden and Lincoln. What a good rivalry it is, and being 26-25
and 1 Lincoln.
Lincoln, Maiden's going to have a chance, it looks like, to even that thing up because it looks like Maiden's going to be at Lincoln in 6 days for the opening round matchup. And it will be the 5th time, if that happens,
that they've met in the playoffs.
It would be the 5th time.
I mean, I know you guys remember.
And the home team won the previous 4.
Did they really?
I think so.
It says Postel's from Andrews, North Carolina. So that's a mountain town.
Okay, so he wanted to get back to his roots. He's gone country, no gone mountain.
But he was in the mountains.
Yeah.
And he went to Gaston County,
which
is only close to Crowder's Mountain.
Or Kings Mountain, not
and
too
Kings
far.
Spencer
Mountain.
And Spencer.
Don't forget Spencer Mountain.
A lot of mountains there. Way more than I
Mountain Island.
Mountain Island.
How can you be a mountain?
The mountains all over Gaston
I thought you had to
County.
be in the Caribbean to be a mountain and an island.
Yeah, how can you be a mountain island?
But
I don't quite get that.
Expect a coaching change at Swain is what I get. I get a message here. It says,
"Oh, they had an awful
I won't
year."
throw the name
I don't know if
out there
it's because of that.
Unless Swain is, Swain to me. I mean,
they're a power.
Well, a one-time
power.
A long tradition of good football. Swain
the
County.
Maroon Devils.
A unique name.
They're 1-9 this year.
A unique name, one of a kind. When you're the Maroon Devils, I don't know how too many teams that have maroon as their, but I've seen them play for years and years. Yeah. I remember many years ago, Mike going to Swain to watch East Lincoln play in a playoff game.
Oh yeah.
And
after that was the week after East went to Avery County for a game. So 2 straight trips to the mountains that year.
Yeah, they beat Judge Avery.
Yeah, he beat Judge Avery.
Go ahead and tell the story, what he did. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
He had been sick all week in the hospital.
That's right.
And this is not made up. Mm-hmm. The ambulance pulled up and let him out. That's right.
And he ran for like 4 or 5 The score was like 55 to 49.
50 to 49.
50 to 49 East Lincoln.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's the coldest.
Little offense in that game.
Coldest I've
I was
ever
not
been.
at that one. I was not at the Avery
coldest
game.
I've ever been at a football
Judge
game.
Avery played for Avery.
Yep. Judge Avery played for Avery.
You remember that game, Brett?
No.
I know you don't.
And you know,
I have been to Avery County, though.
Yep.
Lincoln played them in the playoffs.
The Vikings.
and they played.
2003, maybe 4, somewhere around in there.
Yeah, and East Lincoln played a Swain County team that the week before knocked off previously unbeaten Maiden at Maiden.
I was at that game.
7-6.
That's where I was that week.
Right.
Close your ears, Butch.
Won't like that.
But I was at that game, yeah. I remember seeing Swain.
Coached by Kermit Wisnett.
Okay. Yeah, that's what was his stint? How many
I don't
years?
know how long
Yeah.
Kermit was the
in
head
between
coach.
Tom Brown.
Yeah, but he had that great 10-0 squad, but Swain came in there and beat him. You saw the game.
Well, you guys got your lyrics ready?
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that the first word?
Who's going first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Picking up the pieces of my sweet shattered dream.
Ooh.
I think I know that. I was told not to. I was told in a very kind way, don't yell. I got it, and then go straight to break. Give the words again. Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do the same words you
Makes
just
sense.
gave one more time.
Picking up the pieces of my sweet shattered dream.
We'll be back in just a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Dr. John Klunger III and Dr. Aaron Hebner's mission is to earn their patients' respect and trust through the commitment and positivity, and offer the dental solutions in a professional environment to improve oral and overall health. The practice will be accepting new patients. Just call 704-735-0765 to schedule an immediate appointment. We can provide services like extractions, crowns, bridges, fillings, night guards, cleanings, and deep cleanings, sleep apnea appliances, partials, and dentures. We can also advise determine a treatment plan for dental implants. Dr. John Klunger III and Dr. Aaron Hebner, 904 Doncha Drive, Lincolnton. Call 704-735-0765 to schedule your appointment and experience the dental profession in a warm and no-pressure environment. I'm telling you, the apple didn't fall far.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
It's time to get ready for spring. Time to head to Full Throttle Power Sports and 95 Trailers. Test drive an ATV or side-by-side today. Full Throttle Power Sports carry CF Moto, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, Honda, and Slingshot. And check out their trailers with brand names like SureTrack, Iron Bull, and Triton. Stop by or give them a call at 704-833-1270. Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk in Lowell. Online at ncfullthrottle.com. They deal in fun.
Hi, folks. This is Will Poteet, president and co-owner of RE/MAX Crossroads. The real estate market is ever-changing, but it's not too late to sell your home for a great price. If you're thinking about selling your home, give us a call at 704-736-1717 to speak with one of our expert agents. We would love the opportunity to earn your business.
This is Creighton Kell with Kell Insurance. We have been helping people for over 25 years with all their Medicare needs. We represent the same national and local companies as the insurance agencies you see on TV. And you know what? We can sit down with you one-on-one and help you find the right plan just for you.
Kell Insurance is located beside the Cultural Center and behind Gillum Realty in downtown Lincolnton. 107 North Cedar Street. Call 704-732-4646 and follow them on Facebook. Kell Insurance.
All right, welcome back. A couple people, Ned, you are correct with your artist. Let's see. And you got some more words to the song as well. Lenny with the correct artist and song title. Same with Hooks, correct artist and song title. Mike, if I give you go ahead and read them one more time, Brett.
Drawing the blank.
Drawing.
I got to get back to it. Picking up the pieces of my sweet shattered dream. I wonder how the old folks are tonight.
If I told you this solo artist also had a song, I think it's his top song was about a ship.
About a ship.
About a ship. Yep. How many songs do you know?
Oh,
there you go.
Gordon Lightfoot.
There you go.
Gordon Lightfoot.
There you go. Now, what's this song he's reading? That's a little tougher.
Yeah, the song title is tougher, but
Carefree Highway.
Carefree Highway.
Yep. The other one I was mentioning is the
Early Morning
Edmund
Rain.
Fitzgerald.
Is one. Yeah. The Edmund Fitzgerald's probably his most known.
That's what
song.
I think. That's his most famous
Well,
song.
according to Spotify, Sundown is the most
Sundown's
played
a good one.
song.
Sundown. Yeah.
Yep. Well, and Spotify is more of a. What do you think the average age is on Spotify compared to when that song came out? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, probably more.
I've been on Spotify, but only maybe
I'm on it all day, every day.
maybe twice.
You have an account?
All day, every day.
No, I have an account.
Yeah,
I listen to podcasts
Mike's already trying to figure out if it's free
all
or not.
day.
Hey.
It's
I'm on Amazon Prime Music. I pay for that.
I think mine's $10 a month, and to me it's well worth it because I listen to it all day.
Do you pick what you listen to?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
do you, I mean, every song, do you have to pick every song, or is there something automated on it
will
too?
do that.
Most of mine's not music. It's podcasts.
Okay.
I listen to Bill Simmons, the Ringer Network.
Is that where you hear Howard?
No, not on
Okay.
Spotify.
No.
I hear him in my car.
I hear, Sirius. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yep. Lenny says Gordon Lightfoot, Carefree Highway. His next text says Swain County, home of
Heath Schuler.
There you go. That's exactly it. Heath and Benji Schuler.
Tennessee.
I don't remember Benji as well. Now, what did Benji also play football?
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But Heath.
And wait, Heath got
wound
into
up
politics,
being
but was
a congressman or a or something
from North Carolina or from Tennessee?
I'm not sure. I think it was.
I think it was North
He's always
Carolina.
lived in Swain.
Is it?
In that area.
We don't,
I don't
we don't
wanna,
discuss politics.
I don't want to remember him as a Redskin quarterback. That's why I went there. Because I only have bad memories of
How long
Heath
was
Schuler.
How long was his NFL stint? It wasn't long.
4 or 5 years. I'm gonna let Brett rank the quarterbacks here, and we're only gonna do 2.
Okay.
Heath Schuler or Sam Howell.
Yeah, pretty even.
Yeah.
But not a good even.
No.
Not quite what they've got in playing quarterback today. Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
This
I mean,
kid
this
is a
guy
superstar in the making.
Yeah.
A superstar in the making. Heard they were going to be without 2 defensive players tomorrow. Is that right? Lattimore, who they just traded.
Well,
for.
yeah, you can't really count him because they haven't
Robinson.
had him yet. That's a running back, Brian Robinson.
Okay, that's right. Brian Robinson.
Yeah, they'll be fine at running back.
And they play who?
Pittsburgh.
That's a good matchup.
That's a toughie.
That's a good matchup.
Yeah, that's probably going to be Jaden Daniels' toughest test so far. Pittsburgh's really good on defense, and they're coming off a bye week. So,
what were you guys'
that'd be
thoughts
tough.
on the Bengals and the Ravens a couple nights ago? The Bengals just really let get away.
Great game.
Was a great game.
I thought they got robbed on the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that.
Face mask. Then
Well, there was 2 things.
Two things.
Yeah. And here's the sad part about it, but I heard Dan Patrick said yesterday they threw it to the tight end, right? The play at the end was to the tight end for the 2-point conversion. Dan says if that same play had been going to Chase, they would have thrown a flag for interference because they respect him more. You know?
Yeah, but I think the holding or interference is 50-50, but the quarterback getting hit in the face is the one that that almost always gets called.
And that wasn't near as flagrant. It happened. It should have been flagged. But the one to Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks back for the Vikings on the last play of the game against the Rams, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, the tackle was made by the face mask, and it wasn't called.
Yeah.
Now, were they going to score? Probably not. They were in their own end zone.
Yeah, that's right.
But still, I mean, to let a game in that way should be embarrassing to the.
Were they just
NFL
intimidated by the
officials.
fact that this was the deciding last play of the game, or?
I think they just didn't see him get hit in the face mask because that's an automatic flag. I don't matter what time of the
I've always been
game,
told that officials should not even know how much time's on the clock. Everything should be the same no matter when it happens in a game.
Now the holding, I can see them kind of letting that go because it's the last play of the game because they tend to not call as much as we see it even more in basketball. When the last possession in basketball, they swallow their whistle.
The magic question was, though, if that were the Chiefs, would there have been pass interference?
There'd have been flags flying from all over.
Yeah.
And I got nothing against the Chiefs.
I don't either.
That's how it's been this year.
But they do get the calls.
Yeah.
They do tend to get the calls. But that happened with Brady when Brady was in his prime. He got more calls than other people did too. I mean, it's just, I guess it's just something that's mental that, it's just like I was saying the other day, Justin Jefferson, he probably gets some too because they think, well, if he's not open, he had to be held.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a way it's looked at.
Guy scored 55 points in fantasy that night, Jamar.
Did he?
Jamar Chase, over 200 yards.
I did not.
Two touchdowns?
3.
I slept before it was over. I hate to admit that, but I did. I slept before it was over. Ned says, fun fact, the anniversary of the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald is tomorrow.
Is it?
Yeah, that's why Brett chose that.
Yeah.
Well,
November 10th, 19. Anybody?
The Gales of November came early, right? November is in the song.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. Well, tomorrow is. What year did that thing sink, Mike?
I think
2 of us in the room were alive.
Yeah, I'd say in the 50s.
You and Brett.
Well,
I was not alive in the 50s,
No,
Mike.
that's right.
64.
64.
75.
Oh,
75 that late.
Yeah. I do not remember.
He wrote the song before that.
I think he did. He was ready. 49 years ago, the entire crew of 29 perished.
Yeah.
How about that? That's sad.
Yeah.
Lenny says Schuler, congressman from North Carolina.
Yeah.
He was replaced in Congress by a former White House chief of staff. And if you get this one, then we just quit the show today.
He was replaced by a former chief of staff.
Former White House chief.
What year was that?
I do not know that.
That'd be pretty recent.
See, chief. Why is that?
Well, I don't think Heath Schuler's been in politics for.
Well, he's been there a pretty long time.
Well, it had to be in the last 20 years.
That's what I mean. If he's in there a pretty long time, then Brett's on the right track. I don't know what year, but
former White House chief of staff.
I don't know this name. I mean,
I
don't follow politics very closely. I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Couldn't tell you.
Let's just get this over with.
Mark Meadows.
Mark Meadows. Wow.
So R or D?
R. Yeah.
How about RFD? I
don't know what he is.
I don't know. Let's see. Hook says they were probably using the same refs borrowed from the NCHSAA. It has been kind of a topsy-turvy year for officiating. Is that a good way to put it?
That's a good way to put it.
I don't know. Not trying to be mean at all.
No.
Because I realize that there's a shortage of officials, and we need all the officials we can.
We do.
One thing I noticed on headlines this morning as I got up is you guys may have read this, you may not. Auburn scuffle forces flight to turn back.
I did read about that.
I did too, because my first thought was football.
Yeah, it's their basketball team.
And it's their basketball,
right?
Yep, it's a basketball team. Got in a fight on the plane. Now, they said that it basically ended as quick as it started, but the crew of the flight said, no, we're going back. We're closer. We're not taking a chance, thinking about we got, a couple-hour flight. So they went back.
Yeah,
but
well,
now they did make their destination.
What I read was it was horseplay. Like, it might not have even been a serious fight, but I guess it was enough big bodies bouncing the plane around that the pilots didn't like it.
How many of you want to get in a fight on an airplane that's already, 30,000 feet?
They're headed to play Houston, the top 5 team.
Yeah.
They ranked 3rd or 4th.
Take some of that energy out on Houston.
Yeah.
Where was Bruce Pearl when we needed him?
He was in the fight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't know.
They
You guys Bruce Pearl fans
doing
or
something
not?
illegal, I'm sure.
You guys Bruce Pearl fans or not?
I
like him. I like him.
I like him as a personality. I know he's had a checkered past.
I think he's a good coach.
But now it doesn't matter because,
Well, yeah, I mean, what can you
It's him and Kelvin Sampson. That's a good matchup.
What can you do?
Similar.
What can you do still that's against the rules in college sports? I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying give me some answers. I'm just trying to think. What is there you can do, especially monetarily? Is there anything that you can do?
No, not when players are commanding 7 figures.
Is there anything you can do that's against the rules?
I'm sure there are.
Oh, there probably are, but I would say that list probably went from maybe 10 pages down to half a page. Can't be near as much today that is illegal.
Can a coach still buy a player's meal at a restaurant? Is that
whole thing?
That was stupid not to be able to do that.
Yeah,
anyway.
I know.
No,
I mean, that's just I hate it.
Or on a recruiting, like if you meet a recruit for dinner, can the coach pay for the dinner? I bet not.
Really?
That's not NIL. I mean that.
Yeah. You may be right. You may be right. That would be sad though, because guess what? Some of the kids can't afford dinner, right? Let's see.
What if a player recruited to a school, and then an opposing coach offered him more money, and he decommitted? That's just all in the game, right?
Yeah.
All's fair in love and war.
I guess.
Okay.
Not much love, mainly war.
Yeah.
Lenny says this goes back to Meadows, the congressman or whatever, chief of staff for Trump at the end of his previous term, 2020. Kevin Ray says, now listen to the pressure Kevin puts on me. You need to let me know if we're going to have a home game.
Oh, my Lord.
I got stuff to do, is what he says.
Well, we can't let you know until Sunday, right? Officially.
It's looking like it will be at home. And Kevin, text me back if you're listening this morning, because if you're not listening this morning, I'm not going to text you. Text me back if you're listening. But it's looking like, as much as neither team would want this to happen.
Well, Kevin needs to look at this
Maiden
way.
at Lincoln.
It's going to be a heck of a game.
Yeah, it looks like Maiden at Lincoln. And he says, thanks for the shout-out.
Okay, guys, let's look back on our most vivid memory of a Lincoln and Maiden game. For me, 93. Maiden rolls in. I don't know what the final score was.
42-18.
42-18. And that's the first time I saw the infamous sign, "Just go it."
Yeah, I can't remember if that one had been out there before or not. Well, my memory is always short term, so I just remember like 14 days ago, 15 days ago.
Yeah,
well, that was
as far back as I can go.
That was a heck of a game too. Yeah, that has to be one.
It has to be the biggest comeback in the series.
It's got to
I
be.
think. So,
Got to be.
Yep. So,
well, you had all the scores and everything.
Maiden's got a chance if they actually play each other to even things up at 26, 26, and 1.
Sure do.
And it's I know. Okay. I'll put it this way. You don't mind that matchup as much if you're Maiden as you do if you're Lincoln, because Lincoln won the first meeting, so that it's more pressure on them to win again, and they're at home. But if you're Maiden, you're like, well, we lost to them, we let it get away, so now we get another chance to redeem ourselves.
Oh yeah.
So that's a little bit different attitude going in. So,
it is.
I just wish the playoffs were set up, and I bet the coaches do too, where at least in the first round
you play somebody else, somebody different, somebody you hadn't played.
Yep.
At least
avoid
round.
your conference in the first round.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard from Butch this morning. I don't know if he is up and about or if he's sleeping in.
No Butch this morning.
Have not.
I figured he'd be weighing in on Maiden Lincoln.
Yeah. Well, he's probably like me too.
Well, there's
He's
still a decent chance they don't play. They don't meet in the first round.
Okay. Okay. Well, give me. Do you have options for both teams? What? I know you mentioned
East Rutherford.
Yeah, East Rutherford being one of the ones for Langston. And you're talking about a program that's turned around. East Rutherford without a football team about 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, they were flatlined.
And now they have a dynamite offense that Brett tells me their key players are juniors.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you go,
including the quarterback.
What a comeback from!
And they could be in the conference next year with Lincoln and West Lincoln.
Very possible.
So something to think about there.
Yeah, well, in that Lincoln Maiden range in the seeding, there's North Surrey, East Rutherford, North Stanley, Burns. So out of those 6 teams, there's going to be a couple matchups.
Who was the star running back? I think it was North Stanley, and Lenny probably would be one to go to on this. North Stanley, I think, had a star running back about 8 or 10 years ago. Seemed like he might have went to Nebraska.
Oh.
And that was a little more in Nebraska's heyday, at that time. But I can't remember that running back's name. Thank you, Hooks. Give me anything. If you got anything on our local teams, who they might play, text it to me. Hooks says new projections has North Davidson at North Lincoln on Friday. North Davidson, pretty good program in the past. I remember them going pretty deep in the playoffs a few times. So, and I'm guessing that would be an 11 against, what number would 11 play, Brett?
20-something.
Even though North Lincoln is number 2 in the RPI in that classification, ahead of all those big powerhouse teams except for Crest. They can't go any higher than 11 because they're not a 1 seed.
That's right.
But I was just what did I ask you, Brett? My mind went blank.
I don't know.
His did too. New projections has North Davidson coming to North Lincoln on Friday. Last we saw, and these could all change, East Lincoln might be playing at AC Reynolds. I know that's been thrown out there a couple times. Not sure about. I mean, really, Bandy's could be anywhere across the board. We already told you about Maiden and Lincoln. Bunker Hill. Bunker Hill's going to be the 1 seed, so they're going to be. I don't know how high they'll be seeded in the ones. Did you, Brett? Did you have an idea at all?
I think around 7, maybe.
Number 7.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, they did have 2 losses, right?
Yeah, 8-2.
Yeah, Randleman and Maiden. That's who beat them.
Right.
I tell you what, we're going to have a hard time duplicating. Is it not true that last year all 4 of our teams won first-round games? Didn't they?
What year?
Last year.
The Lincoln County teams?
Didn't they?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did.
Yeah.
I think they did. Here, I finally got a response from Butch. He said, when you started talking about Maiden and Swain County games, I decided to keep my mouth shut.
Still a
well, there's a first.
still a painful memory for Butch.
Butcher eating breakfast
79.
today.
7-6.
Hook says North will be a 10, so not an 11. There'll be a 10. He believes. He believes there'll be a 10 in that seating. Well, they have to be the well.
Well, the only
no,
thing
they won't. Crest will be. Won't Crest be seated ahead of them?
No, North is ahead of Crest right now, but barely.
Okay.
And
that's right. Crest had a game this week. North Lincoln did not.
North has the Bandy's East Burke game, I guess, affects North because that's an opponent of an opponent.
Which makes no sense to me whatsoever.
The opponent's win percentage is just.
I guess they don't
stupid category.
I guess they don't have enough things to legitimize. Is that the right word?
legitimize
the rankings. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to have more than just one thing. You can't have records. You can't have more than two things. Yeah, the more the better. So they throw in opponents because they have nothing else.
Yep.
Nothing else. Just don't ever go to margin of victory or anything like that because that'll cause teams to run the score up, and we definitely don't want that to happen. Mike Painter says last projections I saw has number 25 Bandies at number 8 East Surrey. Okay. So that would have been the Loman Bowl.
Yeah,
would have been.
Now it would have to be Bandies and West Stokes.
That would have to be West Stokes. He's done a tremendous job, and that's Trent Loman, right? I got the right Loman. Tremendous job wherever he's been in coaching football because.
And we know where Randy Loman is.
One or two state titles with East Surrey.
Not Douglas. No, I'm thinking of somebody else. I'm sorry.
We know one because we saw him beat Tarboro.
I think it was
the
only
state title
one
game. They were in it a couple times though, in the finals with Tarboro, right? Tarboro is like a given. They're in the East, and it's going to get even more a given whenever they go to 8 classes. Tarboro, just pencil Tarboro in the East slot in the, I'm guessing 2A. When that rolls around, they won't be 1A anymore. I don't think. But that's a good one to see. Any projection on where Mike? I'll ask Mike. I'm not asking y'all, just totally y'all, but who Bunker Hill might get as being the 1 seed out of this conference, and who Hickory might get being the 1 out of. I feel bad for whoever Hickory gets.
Yeah, it looks like Hickory will probably be the 3 seed.
Yeah,
behind Irwin and South Point.
Mm-hmm. How about South Point? What a year for them.
Yeah.
So Hickory's
strongest conference in the state has to be, doesn't it?
It's in 3A,
strongest 3A conference in the state.
Yeah,
Crest, Kings Mountain.
Yeah, that's tough.
And South Point. I mean, that's all you need right there to.
And Ashbrook this year has been.
Ashbrook's been good. Huss has been good.
Huss has been competitive. Yeah.
Yeah, they should have 5 playoff teams.
I would not want to play those teams.
Yeah.
I would not want to play those teams in the playoffs. That's the Big South still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wonder how much it's going to be broken up next year. It's going to be, because I don't think that, and I may be totally wrong, but you can tell me, I don't think South Point's enrollment is like anywhere near like Kings Mountain's.
All right.
You know, isn't Kings Mountain one of the bigger?
I believe so.
Brad?
I don't know.
And, yeah. I may be wrong on that, but I just think there's probably a big discrepancy in enrollment.
What's going to happen to East Gaston? How about North Gaston?
I don't know, Mike. I have a hard enough time keeping up with Lincoln and Catawba.
Where are my little Cherville linemen going to be?
Seeing where they're going to be. It's got to work out better for Cherville no matter what it is.
Yeah, I don't care what
That's
it
right.
is.
That's right. I mean,
4 years of getting pounded by Shelby and Burns. I'm looking forward to the end of that.
Yep. I think Cherville would probably rather be in with Wake Forest and some of the other small college, not small colleges, but some of the other college football teams than to be in there with Shelby and Burns every single year. Mm-hmm. Here's a couple coming in. Projections right now, according to Mike Painter, number 30 Ashe County at number 3 Hickory, and number 20 East Lincoln at number 13 Kings Mountain.
Oh, love that.
Rematch of a couple years back.
That's
when
right.
East Lincoln went down on their state championship run and knocked off the undefeated Mountaineers.
I remember that one.
While I was at home with COVID.
Yeah, they blew them out.
Big game for Chris Daly in that when he took a couple 75, 80-yarders to the house.
Who is still playing?
Still playing for East Lee.
Still playing for the Mustangs. That is correct. It is time for us to take our second time out. Mike, you get yours ready. I don't have mine pulled up yet. We're going to let Mike do his lyrics. We've already got Brett and his Gordon Lightfoot this morning.
All right.
And what you got, Mike?
Give you one line. I'm just a wandering on the face of this earth.
I'm just a wandering on the face of this earth. Got that, everybody?
I'll give you one more.
We'll be back in a moment.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agricultural fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
For where two or three have gathered together in my name, I am there in their midst. Matthew 18:20. You are invited to gather with us at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church, located at 520 Madison Street, just up from Betty Ross Park. Sunday school meets at 10, and worship follows at 11 every Sunday. Follow us on Facebook for special service announcements. Join us Sunday at Rhine Heights United Methodist Church.
Buying a Bobcat is now easier than ever at West End Sales in Vail. Now get 0% APR financing. That means low monthly payments. Or you can get $1,200 instant rebates on selected models. Now is the time to buy. Like we said, it's easier than ever. Again, get 0% APR financing or get $1,200 instant rebate on selected Bobcat models at West End Sales at the Highway 1827 West intersection in Vail. Online at westendsales.com and like them on Facebook too.
Western Steer Family Steakhouse in Newton has the best food around. Their buffet is like no other. Fried chicken, meatloaf, baked chicken, beef tips with peppers and onions, pintos and macaroni cheese, green beans, yams, and the best salad bar around. Hours of business Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Western Steer Family Steakhouse, 334 Southwest Boulevard, Newton. Call for takeouts at 704-325-3926. Like them on Facebook.
The game is about to start.
What the?
You finally put the kids to sleep.
Sweet dreams. No, the battery.
Your dinner guests will be here in 5 minutes.
Not now. Oh.
Mr. Sparky electricians are around the corner and ready to help. Call Mr. Sparky today for any electrical need.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Zeus Auto Repair and Performance at 1122 South Aspen Street in Lincoln now have 4 North Carolina licensed state inspectors on site. Need automotive work? They are the best. Oil changes, brakes, car detailing, and suspension work. You'll be in and out before you know it. Stop in and see the guys at Zeus Auto Repair and Performance at 1122 South Aspen Street in Lincoln. Hours of business, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 704-240-3061. Zeus Auto Repair and Performance.
Notary services available on site as well.
Welcome back. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I was the first one.
You were.
To get Mike's lyrics. That's because everybody else has to type it in.
Yeah.
Read them again, Mike.
I'm just wandering on the face of this earth, meeting so many people who are trying to be free. And while I'm traveling, I hear so many words, blah, blah, blah.
And we got quite a few of them rolling in here now, Rodney Willis. The latest to get them. Hooks gives it to me. The Moody Blues, singer in a rock and roll band.
1972.
Rodney, is that what year it came out?
1972 on the album Seventh Sojourn.
Yep, and Mike and I both agreed. I think Brett did too. The Moody Blues is pretty underrated band for the amount of songs that they've put out throughout the years. And I don't know exactly how many, but it's.
I don't know where they're rated.
Yeah. Well, I just don't think they get, Okay, I mean, would you consider.
Top 100?
Okay, is Boston underrated?
Well, I don't really know.
They're not in the Hall of Fame. To me, that's automatic. They're underrated. What's keeping them out of the Hall of Fame?
I like Boston better than the Moody Blues.
And just 2 weeks ago, I do too. But just 2 weeks ago, we finally got Foreigner in that took forever with all the songs that they came out with.
The Moody Blues 70s. Were very talented, but not one of my favorites.
They're not. Well, I'll say okay. If I rank my bands 1 and 2, they're not going to be a 1. They're going to be a 2. But still.
I mean, they've had so many songs that are different. Like they got one song you ever heard, "Ride My Seesaw."
Yeah.
And then they got those sort of. I wouldn't call them psychedelic songs, but Tuesday Afternoon.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Where are they from?
England.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna read a few things here. Trying to figure out where I should be. You can't recruit players from other schools before they go into the portal, but it goes on constantly. That's Lenny commenting on what is illegal and what's legal these days. Let's see. I got another one here. Is the player you were thinking about from North Stanley, Antonio Williams? He went to Ohio State, but transferred to UNC. I'm pretty sure that is the name I'm thinking about. Antonio Williams that played at North Stanley. He was a one-man wrecking crew for quite a while at North Stanley High. I don't want to miss anything here, but I think I've already.
I was thinking I remembered West Stanley having a good running back.
Well, I may have the wrong one, but I was thinking North at the time because I just remembered a 1A school and this kid's going to go play in the Big Ten. That's odd. We don't have a lot of that. Ronnie says by the new RPI numbers, West Lincoln would play Bunker Hill in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Bandy's would go to Community School of Davidson, but today's game could change that because Bandy's is still playing a game today that could, I don't know, move them up or down a seat, I guess. Whatever happens there. Hooks says, let's see. Hooks is all over here. He's sending me the projected bracket. Here are the latest projections. Who did these? I'd like to know the source of the projections there, Hooks. And maybe you don't know. Maybe you just found them on the internet, whatever. This is 2A. You'd have number 1, Reidsville hosting Owen or Madison. Number 2, North Surrey. Number 16, North Surrey hosting East Rutherford. Shelby hosting Moorhead. That's a 2 and a
31.
And a 31, yes.
Yeah.
Langston hosting Maiden, an 18 and a 15. Monroe hosting T.W. Andrews, 3 and 30. Burns hosting North Stanley, 14 and a 19. Number 4, Randleman at home against East Gaston. They would be 29. 13, Forest Hills at home against Lexington. That's number 20, Lexington. Number 5, Salisbury at home against West Davidson, 28. Number 12, Walkertown at home against number 21, Surrey Central. Number 6, East Surrey at home against Southwest Randolph. That's the 27 seed. Number 11, West Stokes at home against 22, North Forsyth. Mount Pleasant would be the 7 seed. They would be at home against West Lincoln. And Community School of Davidson is the 10, and they would host Bandy's, number 23. Number 8, Bunker Hill would host Hendersonville, number 25, and number 9, Brevard at home against number 24, Anson. So, the only thing I'm seeing here is everything that comes out has Maiden at Lincoln.
Yeah, that seems to be consistent.
It does. It does. Just seems to be. It seems like that's destined to happen. A rematch of a game just played just 2 weeks ago. It'll be 3 weeks when they play. Seen it in Carolina Varsity's website. Don't know how accurate, says Hooks. So there you go. Carolina Varsity's. That come from Carolina Varsity.
It's not hard to do. Now.
Yeah, I know.
Not like it was when you had to break the East and West down by longitude or whatever, and
that's the best thing they've done.
You had to use ADMs to separate large and small. It's way easier now.
Is that not the best thing they've done?
Yeah,
in a long time is split the East and the West with the Great Wall or whatever they used to split the East and the West from. But yeah, at least we don't have to go through doing that. I mean, because how many times did we see? I remember Whiteville at Shelby.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln at South Columbus.
And Red Springs.
I mean, there has been games where our local teams have even crossed over the line, whatever you want to call it, having to go play. I mean, I don't know how that. Don't know how that ever got started. I guess they just tried to even them out so that this team would have, this part of the state would have as many teams in the playoffs as this part of the state would, And when you get down that low, though, counting teams and everything, they're probably not going to have a chance at a state championship anyway. So I like it better the way it is right now. Even if the West is probably more populated, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
Western North Carolina is more populated than the east side, but you just have to draw, like by number of high schools, you just have to draw the line as close as you can.
Has Lincoln ever traveled further than Red Springs for a first-round game?
I would say that the South Columbus was further.
Yeah, I don't know which one of those is.
True.
Well, South Columbus was one county from a coastal county, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't the next county you know which county I'm trying to say. Next to Columbus would be Brunswick.
Brunswick.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of, Brunswick. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't have my map right in front of me.
I remember Red Springs had to be. Is there a Pembroke County? It was pretty near.
I don't think it
Lumberton.
was. Yeah, I think it was.
It is. South Columbus is further east than Red Springs.
Okay.
All right.
Red Springs, I
and
thought
a lot
was
further
in,
south too.
What county is that? Because Laurinburg and all that.
Yeah, near Laurinburg.
Yeah, whatever they're in, I would say.
Scotland.
No, I think Mike might have had it with. What did you say, Mike, just a minute ago?
Lumberton.
No, the county.
Pembroke.
It may be.
I think that's right.
I think it's Pembroke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Down there in that. What's the basketball coach we just mentioned earlier, Brett, for Houston?
Kelvin Sampson.
Yeah, that's his area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
His neck of the woods, down there. Shout out, they may not. My Carolina fans may not want to hear this, but shout out to Carolina basketball last night. Down 20 points in the first half.
Yeah.
Made a game of it.
Roberson
County.
That's it, Roberson.
Roberson County. Yep.
You giving them a moral victory?
Moral victory
Carolina
for
basketball.
Okay, you're number 9 and you're at number 1. Okay, so it's already lined up against you, and then you get down 20. It felt like both teams lost. If you watch the game at the end and watch the players, I think Kansas players felt like they lost. Because we did win the game, but we blew a 20-point lead.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
I've seen many games where you felt like both teams lost. And they're playing. This is I like this idea. They're playing each other twice. They're playing each other next year in Chapel Hill. Early in the season like this. It's just, you're doing these big time matchups, but you're not doing it on neutral courts. I like it.
You know how many national titles these Blue Bloods have combined for?
You want me to guess? Because I'm not going to sit here and try to count the number, but I'll just guess and go 11.
Close. 10.
10. Well, maybe they get one this year.
Yeah.
Be 11. I haven't seen much college basketball because it's just started.
Yep, it has.
North Carolina will face UConn in your title game.
Oh, you're going North Carolina.
Best guards in the country. The two best guards as a tandem in the country.
Well, how about
and guards get you there, right, Brett?
How about the best player of this generation, Cooper Flagg of Duke? You're not putting the Dukies in there?
He's 17.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
They'll make about the Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
Yep. And yep. Just like they have ever since they've gone with the one and done.
Yeah.
One time it worked, and that was Jaleel Okafor, right?
Yeah.
Jaleel Okafor in that team.
It worked.
Yep. But no, I like the way Carolina fought last night and came back. And what's the guy's name that starts with a T? Is it Trimble?
Yeah.
Had a terrific game. What I watched, he had a terrific game. They are lacking in size for a North Carolina team.
By their standards. Yeah, that's right.
But the guards, their guards will be hard to be matched.
Yeah.
Their two guards will be hard to be matched.
Well, it's a three guard. They play three guards.
Trimble's a guard,
Cadeau.
Right? Yeah,
Davis, Cadeau, and Trimble.
Yeah.
Cadeau don't look like he would be worth a crap.
Yeah.
And then you give him the ball, and he can do anything with it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know any other way to describe it than that.
And then they got a good freshman guard off the bench, Ian Jackson. He's probably more talented than any of the three guards that start. He's a freshman, and they're not starting him.
Couple updates here I got to get in real quick. Of course, everybody was lighting me up with Robertson County, so I'm not going to give all the names. Ronnie Carpenter says RPI just updated again. How many times are they going to update this thing? Did somebody play this morning?
Carolina's guards were 10 for 36 from the field last night.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? Davis is not going to shoot that bad.
You know how many free throws they made?
100.
The three guards made 25 free throws.
Out of?
27.
How about that? That wins you ball games. Now, it didn't last night.
But it usually does.
Yeah, that will win you ball games. Just updated, change Bunker Hill from a 7 to an 8. That would make West Lincoln go to Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
If that stands. We might see this thing change over and over.
Well, it's definitely going to change a little bit this afternoon after Bandy's and East Burke play.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Hook says good comeback. This is a basketball game. The freshman John Holbrook from Hickory comes off the bench and has played well so far this year. Lenny says it's good for college basketball to play these type of games. It is good for college basketball, and you take that middleman out too. That I don't know who's getting a lot of that money for that gate when you play them like in Madison Square Garden or other venues.
Neutral venues. Yeah.
And I heard a comment last night by the broadcasters, and I wanted to see what you guys thought. And you know, as Duke fans, I know you love Cameron Indoor Stadium, but they said on the air and the best venue for college basketball.
Fog Allen.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
And
it is.
Was it Billis that was working the game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's the one said it.
He's never going to show favoritism.
No, he's not.
No.
But then the other guy,
goes out of his
the
way
play-by-play
not to.
guy says, I can't argue that. You know, that's a good comment from him. I can't argue that. But
I've never been there, but
no, I hadn't either.
They were there in the moment,
But,
so it's easy to say.
But it is electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's no
It is.
question.
It
That's
is.
one of the
Yeah.
greatest. Yeah.
Yep.
Who, of course, Duke Stadium. Cameron is great. How would you rate the Dean Dome?
It's got better over the last 10 years. Louder.
It's good in big games.
Yeah.
It's not good all the time. I think Duke and Kansas have it all the time.
Yeah.
It don't matter who they're playing.
Yeah, that's right. It's good.
Carolina is great when Duke comes there.
Yeah. If they get Duke or some,
and it will be next year when Kansas comes there.
Yeah,
It'll be loud.
It will.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the wine and cheese crowd as much as it used to
I
be.
always liked Indiana's home arena.
Yeah,
Is it Assembly Hall?
Assembly Hall, yeah.
That's back when they had a basketball program.
Yeah.
Yep.
What
now
has
they got a
happened
football
there?
program.
Yeah.
9-0.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call it a program yet. Give me 5 years of consistency.
Well, you think they'll make the
3
playoffs?
to 5 anyway.
Well, we'll probably talk about that.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we'll try to. But yeah, I do think that is this. Is that the biggest story in college football?
I think so.
Indiana.
I really do.
How about this one?
Can't be.
Is the loser of Alabama LSU eliminated?
Got to be.
Yeah.
It'd be their third loss.
Unless a lot of things happen down the road. I'll put it this way. If LSU loses, they're out.
Yeah.
If Alabama loses, just based on their tradition and recognition and
Unless-
them in the playoffs, they could still get in.
Yeah.
Unless they would still have a chance at making the SEC title game, which I don't know how that. I guess they're just taking the top two records,
There's no
not
more
in East and
divisions.
West.
Where is that? Where is that game?
LSU.
Is it? That's must see
Baton
TV right
Rouge.
there when they play a night game. Isn't it 7:30?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's must see TV.
What was it Bear Bryant always said about going to Baton Rouge? Downright hellacious.
Yeah, well, you give those Louisiana natives 12 hours to get ripe.
There we go. Cajun country.
Yeah, the night games are
How
always
much Cajun
pretty wild.
food are they eating with
Oh,
those
my goodness.
drinks? I would just be
Oh, boy.
either passed out or
Ooh.
That's a place I'd love to go to a
sick
game.
somewhere.
I'd love to go to a game.
Yeah.
At LSU, and I'd like for it to be a night game if I got.
I think
I'd
it's
like for it to
different
be.
at night.
Yeah, it
than
is.
it is during the
It
day.
is. Yeah, it is.
Oh, everywhere.
It cools
it
down
is.
to 85.
Everywhere. All the
cools down to 85. That's
all the
one
stadiums
thing.
are better at night.
Love that.
It is.
That's
It
about right.
is one hot place.
Oh,
I
boy.
can promise you. There with a mom that lives in that area that complains about it all the time. The heat. Best college football stadium crowd? Question mark.
College football? Well,
man, there'll be so many opinions on that.
You can't get a
But LSU's
consensus.
in there.
Yeah.
LSU's got to be in there.
The
But,
Big House is in there.
I mean,
Clemson's in there, I would think.
I can't overlook what Iowa does.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Honoring the Children's Hospital that's behind it, and I like stuff like that.
How about Touchdown Jesus looking down on Notre Dame?
Roger says Florida playing Texas today. Go Horns! 100-0 won't be enough. Florida, man, they have.
I think
they have one shining moment.
I think Notre Dame's football atmosphere is similar to Carolina basketball. I think it's great for big games. I don't think it's always like that.
And Brett and I are still trying to get to Notre Dame to a game. We want to go to a game in Notre Dame in South Bend at some point. Maybe next year.
Well, I've been wanting to go to a game,
around.
the Texas OU game, but haven't been yet.
Yeah. Go ahead and give us your now. Take your team out, but send me best atmosphere for college football. Anybody wants to text me?
Well,
best
I've been to
for college football.
3 big ones:
Penn State,
Florida, and Clemson.
And I've been to Michigan, and Michigan is awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that Michigan
Florida
is awesome.
Florida was great.
Yeah,
and it was a night game, and they were playing Ole Miss, and they were both undefeated at the time, and it was great.
Tennessee's great. Most SEC schools,
Yeah. Well, South Carolina supposedly has one of the best.
I've been to a game in South Carolina.
Did you see it last week on TV? I mean, that place was. It looked like it was as good as any.
Williams-Brice, yeah, it is.
But Ole Miss, you can't leave out schools like Ole Miss and Mississippi State because the traditions they have.
A&M's good.
Yep.
A&M, the 12th man. Or is it? Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna read a couple things. Denny says, since we're talking basketball, how about number 2 UConn women playing the 15th ranked UNC Tar Heel women in Greensboro next Friday? I bought my daughter. I saw you had posted that. I saw Denny. I bought my daughter tickets because she is a Paige Beckers fan.
UConn.
Sorry, I didn't pronounce that exactly right. For her birthday, which was in September. But hate to miss the first round of the high school football playoffs. Now, since I'm done typing, y'all have moved on. Yeah. We haven't moved on. We always go back. Let's see. Tennessee is great, says Hooks. Virginia Tech at night. That's a good one. Virginia Tech playing Inner Sandman.
Mm-hmm.
Roger says, been to Athens, Georgia. It's wild and awesome.
Oh yeah, Between the hedges.
I would bet. I can't imagine an SEC school that don't have.
Yeah, every SEC school.
Right. You know who's had a really good one this year? Vanderbilt.
6-3.
Vanderbilt, man. What a year they're having.
Going to a bowl.
What a year they're having in the SEC with. I know they beat Alabama, but they had another signature win after that. Who else did they? What other good team? They beat another good team in that conference.
Yeah, they play.
Not on the level as
they
Bama.
They play South Carolina today. They've beat Kentucky and Auburn.
No, Kentucky's the one I was thinking about. They beat Kentucky, and Kentucky played
Auburn's
Georgia
not
to
real
what?
Good this year.
A 1-point game?
Yep.
It's
good to see. I mean,
they finished with South Carolina, LSU, and Tennessee. You think they can go 9-3?
No.
Say them again.
South Carolina. What'd I say?
LSU
and Tennessee.
Hey, why don't you look up Florida's remaining schedule starting today? If you want to see Murderer's Row,
oh yeah,
you should just read off the entire Florida schedule. Starting today with Texas, right?
LSU, Ole Miss.
Well, I'll tell you, Murderer's
And then
Row.
Florida State. They ought to be able to win.
They
that
might
one.
win the last one. They won't win those other.
And they
three.
just played Georgia last week.
How good would Ole Miss be if they had a defense ranked in the top 50?
Yeah.
And maybe they do. I don't think they have a defense ranked in the top 50. But if they had a top 25 defense,
stats-wise, they're 91st in yardage.
91st
yardage.
Yeah. If they had a top 50 defense,
so that's
they could be national champs.
That's a mediocre defense.
But they may not even get in.
Offense.
They may not even get in because if they're second in offense, who's first? BYU?
No, maybe I don't know.
I'll give you Murderer's Row, and they might not even make a bowl
know.
game. Oklahoma, Missouri, Alabama close with LSU.
And what's their record right now?
5-4. But they've made a bowl game
they
for 25,
they win one, they get
24 straight years going to a bowl game.
And the three teams are?
Missouri, Alabama, and LSU.
Well, Missouri's dropped a little bit.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, they started like a ball of fire, but they've dropped off a little bit.
It is at Missouri. Though.
Missouri, Alabama
at home.
Which they probably won't win.
And LSU on the road.
They probably won't win that either.
So they could end up 5-7, no bowl game for the first time in 25
I'm
years.
going to bet they win. They better
win today.
Missouri.
They win today.
Who's today?
Missouri.
They got Missouri today.
Yeah.
At Missouri.
Yeah. Well, you never know. I mean,
Oklahoma's actually favored by 3.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't get that.
That's surprising.
I mean, I just think you never know.
No.
You just it's college. I don't know. I don't know how I should get in this. Not. I got a message the other day from Coach Cloninger.
Oh, Missouri's quarterbacks.
He liked college football better than the NFL now because college was less predictable than the NFL. And I wasn't. I sat there and thought about it, and I wasn't 100% sure that. I think. To me, I think. 80% of college football games are predictable. Yeah. But I will say those last 20% are some really fun games.
One thing that's made it,
and that's the ones you watch.
That's made it better is the big conferences. There's more good games.
More good games.
Yeah,
that's one positive.
There's not near as many gimmies out there for some of these teams.
That's right.
That they're used to. And if you just have one or two in there, that makes strength of schedule ridiculous. You know.
Yeah.
But like, I just wanted to look here just for a minute and see the schedule for today in college football, and there's not many games on the college football slate we would pick opposite on. But in the NFL, there probably is. You know? Because they're all pro players, they're all capable of beating each other, all good, and they're all they're good for that one game. I mean. If you just went by records, everybody would have picked
How many close
Ravens
games
other
have the
night.
Chiefs had? I mean, they're
all of them.
undefeated, but yeah,
all of them.
Yeah.
Yet they find a way to win.
Find a way to win.
At the end. Okay, predictable or not? Purdue at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty predictable. Yeah.
The only thing I can't predict here is will they win by 40 or 60. Right now, if you guys had to pick, give me your final four in college football. And just give me one team, Mike. Give me one team. It shouldn't be hard. Quick. One team.
Ohio State.
Brett?
Oregon.
Ohio State, Oregon. Go ahead. Go again, Mike. I'll let you go. I'll let y'all both do two, and then I'll.
Let's see.
Wow. So is
wait a minute.
is it
wait
that
a minute.
hard?
No, give me a sec. Georgia.
Yeah.
That was going to be
Georgia's going to be in.
Yeah. So far you've named the number 1, 2, and 3 team in the country, but I bet you don't name number 4.
No, I'll go with Texas next.
Texas. Who would be the biggest surprise out of these to get in the Final Four? Or to win it? Let's just go that far. Who would be the biggest surprise to win it? Miami, Penn State, Tennessee, Indiana, BYU, BYU, Notre Dame, Alabama. That's as far as
I'm going to go with Penn State because James Franklin cannot win a big game. How many times have they lost in a row to Ohio State?
Yeah.
Penn State and Indiana, they got no chance at winning it.
No.
Penn State and Indiana have no chance. Y'all heard it here. Penn State and Indiana have no chance of
and
winning.
I don't think Notre Dame, they can't win it.
Right.
No, I don't think Notre Dame can win.
Can Alabama
win a game?
Can Alabama? They're 6-2. They're sitting at number 11.
With their talent, it's possible. But being inconsistent, I'll say no.
I wouldn't rule them out.
Here is what I love about the new format, okay? Your number 12 team right now is Boise State, and that's a non-Power 5, right?
Non-Power 4.
Non-Power 4, whatever.
Yeah.
But they have if they don't lose, that's locked up, right? They're going to be that. They're going to be that team.
Yep.
But here's what I love. Your next team looking in is SMU.
Yeah.
Somebody you would have never put there at the beginning of the year.
That's one of the big surprises.
That's what makes it better.
Yeah.
And then you've got teams, to me, that in normal years could win it. Texas A&M, LSU, Ole Miss. Iowa State is Iowa State. I don't think it ever could win a national championship, but they could knock off one team in one given week.
And they were flying high, but then Texas Tech beat them last week. How about Colorado? Do they have a chance to make the playoffs?
They're at 20 right now, but I saw something about their.
Well, they got to win out.
Got to win out.
I saw something about their strength of schedule or some kind of ranking. I just saw last night on TV.
Not real
that
good.
they were the second team.
Really?
On outside looking in, and I can't remember who was first, but somebody put it up that they were the second team, and they might have been projecting what they do the rest of the way too. I don't know, but who's just like today. I mean, it's going to be a devastating loss for LSU or Alabama.
Oh yeah.
It's
going to be big.
Since LSU is at 15 and they're on the outside looking in right now, I just think they're done if they lose. I just think they're done if they lose, unless a whole lot of things happen.
Well, if Alabama loses, wouldn't it be their third conference loss?
It would be their third loss, but we shouldn't look at it this way. But I don't know. Is it all on ranking, or is people choose them? Is there a human element?
Yeah, I think so.
People want Alabama in because it makes for good TV.
What if Mississippi loses to Georgia? Are they done? Ole Miss?
3 losses? Yes.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yes. Yeah. That's the bad thing about the SEC. They're eliminating each other.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine?
They are.
Would you imagine if this was 12 teams and you could take 8 SEC teams? It'd be a great tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a great tournament with eight of those in there. But they beat up on each other. But it is the power conference now that they thought it would be, and they're going to get more teams every year than anybody else. So
Yeah.
it's all working out for them. And if you lose those games during the regular season, you're probably not going to win it anyway, unless you just got a
Ole
couple star players.
Ole Miss has
back.
a loss to Kentucky. Kentucky's 3-6 right now.
Yeah.
That's just a bad loss. I know it's a conference loss, but you can't lose to Kentucky.
But Kentucky, who have they beat? They had a couple good wins.
And they almost
other than Ole Miss, they
lost by 1 to Georgia.
Yeah, but they're 3-6.
Yeah, I know, that doesn't make sense. Does
You are what your record says you are.
And I actually thought that.
And I say the same about Notre Dame. You can't lose to Northern Illinois. You got to win that game.
I thought at the beginning of the year that Stoops would have a chance for Coach of the Year with Kentucky, but
How about Al?
It did not.
He may be ousted.
Who?
He might be out of a job.
You think? Yeah, he might. He might. But you know what? I wouldn't hesitate.
Kentucky
to take
has
him as
losses
my coach.
to Vanderbilt, Florida, Auburn. Now, those are all Vanderbilt's the best of those three.
Yeah. Kind of hard.
Kentucky's just not good. They beat Ole Miss and they almost beat Georgia, but other than that, they're terrible.
I guess
South Carolina killed them. Yeah, Kentucky's not a good team.
No.
Yeah. I can't hardly.
How about Clemson? Did they shoot themselves with?
Oh, that loss killed them last week.
That hurt.
That dropped them down to 23rd.
Yeah.
So.
And they had no.
I don't know if they have a shot at making the ACC championship. I guess they do, but they're going to need some help. They would need SMU to lose or Miami to lose. SMU could still win the ACC.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take our final time out. Here are my lyrics for the day. Did we announce Brett's a while ago or Mike's?
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah. Moody Blues.
Moody Blues. That's right. Last night, a little dancer came a dancing to my door. Back in a moment.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
Sooner or later, everyone wants to make their home dreams a reality. I'm sure you've seen the television shows and flipped through magazines and you know what you want. Or then again, maybe you're not sure. You know that you want something different and something better. Get started today by contacting the building professionals at Key Builders in Lincoln. Visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and check out their many floor plans. There's one there for you and your family. Key Builders, locally owned and operated at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
Lake Electric Company was founded in 1984. They are licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Virginia. Safety and quality is first in everything they do. For all your electrical needs, serving Lincoln County, Catawba County, Burke County, Mecklenburg County, and all the surrounding counties. When it has to be done right, call Lake Electric. Let them take care of your family. Lake Electric Company, 4362 Providence Mill Road, Maiden. Call 704-483-4000. Online at lakeelectric.com.
Stop by Lowe's Home Improvement in Lincolnton for their great deals on items you use around the house. Need to update around the kitchen? Then shop a great selection of appliances and some up to 30% off retail prices. Buy Craftsman's 20-volt max battery and get your choice of matching Craftsman cordless tool free. Update your workshop area with a wide selection of shop tools, only $99 each. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Shop Lowe's in Lincolnton for the things you want to buy today.
Century Drug in Boger City is the first pharmacy in the area to offer peace of mind for you, your caregivers, and for your family with a convenient poly pouch, strip pouch system, just like the one you've seen on TV. No more sorting through and keeping up with your multiple bottles of medication. No more filling daily reminder boxes. No more calling in meds and worrying about refills. You'll receive all your medications once a month in a box that dispenses a convenient, easy-to-open strip pouch that is perfectly labeled for breakfast, lunch, bedtime, etc. Century will be the link between you and your doctor to assure you that your medication profile is up to date and refillable. In other words, Century Drug will do all the work. You just take your medications and be healthy and happy. Call or come by for a visit today. 704-735-2551. Century Drug, East Main Street in Lincolnton.
Welcome back. Glad to have you with us. Getting some correct answers on the lyrics this morning. Last night, a little dancer came dancing to my door. Last night, a little angel came pumping on my floor. She said, come, baby, you got a license for love, and if it expires, pray help from above. Because in the midnight hour...
Oh, okay. I got it now.
Throw it out there.
Rebel Yell.
Oh, yeah, in the midnight hour. That's
By?
Right. Billy
Idol.
Not Billie Eilish.
Billy Idol, not Eilish. That's right.
Yes, correct
answers.
answers
With
from
the Rebel Yell, of course.
Yeah, our local team.
Baby, early 80s.
So Hooks, Rodney, Willis, Lenny Anthony, all with the correct lyrics this morning. So
I don't think I've ever known how that song started out.
That's our first time I think we've used Billy Idol.
Yeah, I'd be
hopefully the last.
Never.
You don't like Billy Idol?
No, I do.
I do too. I love his commercials.
Oh yeah, he's had a revival a bit with his commercials.
Yeah, he's
White Wedding, I think, is a great tune.
He is one rough-looking dude.
Oh, yeah.
I will throw that out. But I like his
He's
song.
not as rough as the lead singer for the Sex Pistols, though, Johnny Rotten.
He's not as rough as the lead singer for Aerosmith.
Yeah.
I was thinking Alice Cooper.
Yeah, Alice Cooper, Johnny Rotten.
I don't even know what Johnny Rotten looks like.
Adam Ant.
Adam Ant. Don't forget Adam Ant.
I don't know what Adam Ant looks like, except on the cartoon from back in the day. But Billy Idol's got those. What are the commercials he did?
Yeah, what is that? It's not insurance.
Do you get Billy Idol music mixed up with David Bowie?
No.
Okay, just checking. I mean, some people do, I think, because
the look-alike. I mean, their style and.
Oh God, they don't want to hear they look alike.
Yeah.
Well, David Bowie has passed, but yeah, I like that one. That's.
Yeah, I think
that one's played at a lot of sports venues. That's why I brought that one up today.
Yeah, Big Idol's a little more punk-like than really Bowie. It's hard to characterize what he was as a
little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
If you just tuned in, we don't want to leave you blank there. Last night, winners in this area: Irwin with a big win to beat AC Reynolds 28-21. And Brett, you said that should put Irwin as the 1 seed in the 3A West. Is that right, or did I dream that?
As of right now, they would be.
They would be the number 1 seed in the 3A West. Asheville Irwin, and you told me their nickname was
Warriors.
Warriors. Okay, thank you. Also in that area, Asheville rolled over TC Roberson 45-15. East Surrey 49-0 over West Wilkes. Inca 14-7 over North Buncombe. Fred T. Ford snaps the 42-game losing streak last night with a win over West Iredale in overtime, 53-52. West Iredale scores in overtime, goes for 2, and did not get the 2-point conversion, and Ford ends their 42-game win streak. Mountain Heritage over Drone.
Losing streak.
Losing streak.
What did I say?
Win
streak.
losing streak. Everybody would like to have a 42-game losing streak. Mountain Heritage 49-6 over Drone last night. Brett, you or somebody, you told me last night Mountain Heritage was the only team to beat
Irwin.
They're the only team to beat Irwin.
Yeah.
Who is the number 1 seed in 3A.
That's pretty impressive.
Mountain Heritage 1A.
Will they be they won't be the 1 seed in 1A, will they?
I hadn't even looked at that.
Yeah. A 1A team beat the number 1 seed in 3A.
I would guess Mount Airy, but I don't
So how
know.
far can they go? Mountain Heritage, you know?
Yeah, Mount Airy and then Mountain Heritage, right? As it stands right now, Mountain Heritage would be the 2.
Wow. Behind, you said Mount Airy.
Mount Airy.
2-time defending state champs, so they couldn't meet until the West Finals.
And then you got Murphy and Eastern Randolph at 3 and 4.
Yeah. Eastern Randolph is always a wild card. You don't know what you're going to get. You know, it's not one of those mountain schools where they're all alike and they play each other. Eastern Randolph plays a whole different kind of schedule, and usually it's upper class too, isn't it? And aren't they in a combined conference?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's Randleman is who they're in with.
Okay. How did they fare against Randolph?
Well, Eastern Randolph's 10-0.
Well, that tells me how they fared.
They beat them by
Randolph.
1 last week, 27-26.
And Randleman's a team that did beat Bunker Hill.
That's right.
Early in the season, so pretty good squad. East Rutherford over Chase, 54-0 last night. Robbinsville, 17-0 over Swain County. Kings Mountain over North Gaston, 54-6. West Henderson 56, East Henderson nothing. Hendersonville 69-0 over Polk. Ashe County loses to Alexander Central. Alexander Central. You know, we had this as one of our games to pick this week. Somebody sent me their picks and put AC. I won't call them out, but I thought that was great. You can't go wrong.
Yeah,
can't go wrong.
AC.
There.
I said you got to verify your AC pick, please. Alexander Central is the one they went with, and they won it over Ashe County, 27-18. Mitchell and Avery County, a good one last night. Avery wins 25-21. Brevard over RS Central, 48-13. Pisgah. Wonder what the pot was last night. Up there for the half and half. They're giving away as much as $30,000, right? At one time, Brett, wasn't it up in the 30s?
I think it's just gotten higher each year.
10-7 last night. Pisgah in a low-scoring game beats Tuscola. Freedom defeats High Brighton 26-21. South Point over Hunter Huss 36-22. Watauga 63-19 over South Caldwell. Bunker Hill and West Caldwell. Bunker wins at 51-16. But throw this out there, you know, it doesn't really matter, but it was a 16-16 game at one time between Bunker and West Caldwell. Smoky Mountain over Franklin last night, 35-14 in that one. So guess what's next, guys? Playoff pairings coming out. Playoff pairings coming out sometime on Sunday. There are a couple games today. Let's not forget Bandy's on the road at East Burke to finish out the CVAC regular season. Bandy's a playoff team, even if a loss, Brett?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Now, David, as commissioner, will the CVAC meet
Monday night?
Yeah, to what? Pick all conference and so forth.
Yeah, just a Monday night meeting. I would guess most of the conferences in the state of North Carolina will have their meetings. Some of them probably already had them. If you're already done.
If you're done.
We weren't done. We as a conference, the CVAC had 3 or 4 games left. East Burke played twice this week, so we couldn't have done that. East Burke was a winner over Newton Conover 27-21.
No,
Newton won 27-21. Newton Conover a win.
I guess, of course, you can speculate.
5 of the 8 out of the CVAC going to the playoffs, and I'm guessing 4 of the 8 going to the playoffs out of the Western Foothills 3A. Am I right, Hooks, 4 of the 8?
I know who I'd vote for Coach of the Year in the CVAC. I've already made that plain.
I'm trying to see which angle you're looking at here.
Good one.
I think he will get some votes. I don't know if he'll win or not, but he took a team that last year finished middle of the pack, maybe second or third. Yeah. They started 0-4, and he turned the season around and got a share of the conference title. So whether he wins it or not, he's got something to be proud of.
He does.
There are Bunker Hill. Albert's got to be in the mix again for Coach of the Year, winning the conference outright. Not outright, but winning the conference second year in a row for Bunker.
Will Byrne and Maiden.
And I'd like to know, has Bunker ever won consecutive conference championships? Yeah, Will Byrne.
Great question.
At Maiden. Darren Ponder at West, they lost a lot of people last year. People don't realize to be where they were. They lost a lot of people last year.
Too, as did Bunker Hill to graduation.
Yeah, but I do think the biggest surprise in the conference had to be Lincoln.
Yep.
To come from where they were and where they went to. So that had to be this biggest surprise, because when they were 0-4, maybe they did. Maybe they envisioned that happening, but on the outside looking in, nobody did.
And something Jade told me last week when I was interviewing him for this story, that he felt the community deserved this. Because Lincoln is a school with a lot of pride, and their football tradition goes way back. And, to get back in the limelight, to be in the conversation,
right,
I think is what he's talking about there.
Here's the question of the day. Who is the Western Foothills Coach of the Year, Basil or Glass, or somebody different? But I'm guessing Basil or Glass.
It seems to be they would have to be between those two guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. Given what Basil had to go through, his wife's illness,
to
me it would be a sentimental favorite.
Right. And honestly, let's it's hard to win Coach of the Year when you're expected to go 10-0.
Oh yeah.
It's
hard too.
Yeah, I might would give the edge to Basil for going 9-1 in that league, and the only loss was to Hickory because, and they played a pretty decent non-conference schedule as well. But you can't go wrong with either one. I'll put it that way. You can't go wrong with either one.
You can't grumble with either one.
And you know what? I think half of these coaches, just the ones I've talked to and stuff, I think half of these coaches just wish there wasn't a Coach of the Year award anyway.
I know they don't want it. They really don't want it.
It's just, neither here nor there.
People going by on horseback.
Yeah, that's new. That's different. We see people riding horses out our studio window. Right. I would not want to ride a horse on that highway.
Not that
on that road, or any road for that matter. But give me the woods if I'm going to be
woods or trails or something.
Riding horses, which I haven't done in quite a while. But that was pretty neat. How many did you see there? I saw 2.
2.
Okay, I didn't know if there was more than that or not.
Best song ever with horses in the title. Pretty easy.
Pretty easy? Okay, all right, this is an opinion thing.
It's
Mike
opinion.
Says it's pretty easy.
Opinion.
Wildfire.
It's
Wild Horses.
Wildfire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
what
Wildfire, that song. I remember.
Michael Martin Murphy, ain't that his name?
Yeah.
She ran calling Wildfire.
She ran
calling Well, they don't have horses in the title.
Oh, it don't have in the title. Oh, in the title.
In the title.
Oh, I thought you meant songs.
How many songs are there with horses in the title? Wild
A horse
horses.
with no name.
A horse with no name. That's a good one. Yeah. That's a good song. I don't know what the heck it means, but it's a good song. Yeah. America.
I don't know that many with horses in the title. I was just going with horses in the song, but Wildfire is a great song, too.
Yeah, that's a nice song.
Yeah.
Wildfire. Man calling Wildfire.
Yeah, but I do like Wild Horses. Of course, I like anything the Rolling Stones.
Oh yeah.
Have to sing, so that makes it pretty easy.
Can anybody tell me what album?
Brett can.
Wild Horses was.
Brett can, but I can't.
Nah, I can't remember.
Aha. Anybody out there in Radio Land?
Hook says, great show this morning. Have a good weekend. I thought he was going to comment on horses or something like that, but I bet there are plenty of other songs out there we just can't nail.
Yeah, with horses.
With horses in the title. That's just hard.
Oh, I know. U2's got a great one. Who's going to ride your wild horses?
That's right. Yeah.
I can't even place that.
That's one of my favorite U2 songs.
For some reason, I can't even place that one. The Bengals lost to the Super Bowl champion Baltimore Ravens. A lot of people saying that, right? Yeah. That was my pick to win the Super Bowl at the first of the season. Of course, now
they don't have a lot of defense.
The first 6 weeks we were laughing at my NFC pick to win the Super Bowl. But how much chance do we give the Rams now to be the NFC
They're hot
representative in the Super Bowl? They still got a long way to go, but I do think the NFC's more wide open than the AFC. Do you guys not? Horse with no name. Hooks. We did mention that one. But that is a good one. I don't want to ride through the desert on anything.
No.
Not a desert fan. Baltimore 35-34 in that win over Cincinnati a couple nights ago. The New York Giants visit Carolina, but they really don't. They visit Germany. In Munich, Germany, tomorrow morning, 9:30 our time. Carolina hosting the New York Giants, or whoever's hosting. It is a Carolina Panther home game. But Sticky Fingers is the answer I get. I'm guessing that is the album named by Rodney Willis.
You got it.
Yep.
Sticky Fingers.
I thought that was a barbecue sauce that you can buy in the store. Chicago is at home to take on New England. Buffalo visits the Indianapolis Colts. What's going on with the Colts quarterback situation? Still a great album, says Rodney. And Kevin Ray says, Cowboys all the way. Rodney, Kevin Ray, thank you.
Cowboys
if they aren't a dumpster fire this year, there's never been a dumpster fire. And now you've lost your quarterback for at least 4 weeks. And they don't have an easy schedule coming up either. So usually I will ride them to the last minute for fear that they might get in. But I don't see how they can make the playoffs. I don't see how they can make the playoffs. They might, but I just don't see how they can make the playoffs unless Cooper Rush is the next. What is he? They're not even going to try and start the guy they got from San Francisco. What was his name?
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. That is wild. Don't understand. What college did he come out of?
Is he North Dakota State?
I think so. One of those guys.
One of those Dakotas. Yeah.
One of those Dakotas. There are only 2.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. Buffalo and the Colts. Denver at Kansas City. Atlanta at New Orleans. How about Atlanta having a really solid season? Kind of under the radar too. They don't get a lot of publicity.
Is New Orleans now the worst team in the NFL? They may have
2-0 to 2-7, right?
Yeah.
Went from 2-0 to 2-7. Fired their coach last week.
Yeah. Certainly a team in most disarray.
They need a big time coach, and they could, because they got some talent on the team. Now they traded their best defensive player away. Did his contract run out this year? Is that why they did that move?
He still got another year.
Does he? Okay,
I think so.
Lattimore, what was his first name?
Marshawn.
At one time, he was the best corner. Probably the best corner in the league.
Their best receiver came back from a concussion. Then he got concussed again against the Panthers.
Olave.
Yeah, and they'd already lost their speed receiver.
Real quick, we're just about
Shaheed.
out of time. San Francisco at Tampa. How about Tampa? They look good, even in a loss the other night. Wasn't it? Was that the Kansas City?
Kansas City, yeah.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield's playing out of his mind. He's really playing good. Pittsburgh at Washington, Minnesota at Jacksonville, Tennessee at the Chargers, Philly at Dallas. That's your chance right there. Prove something. Go beat Philly at home, Kevin.
Watch out for those Chargers.
Jets at Arizona, and Detroit. Right now, the best team in football, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
At Houston, so they'll lose tomorrow night because I gave them the kiss of death, or Monday night, whatever that is. Miami plays Monday night. Thanks for tuning in. For Brett, Mike, I'm David. See you next week.